Hi, everyone. Welcome to Adventurous episode three.
Three.
Three. I'm Matt.
I'm Jilisa.
And what are we talking about today, Jilisa?
Well, today we are going to talk about um, being married, business owning humans in the time of 2020, 2019, 2021, all those years.
During these difficult
The
times,
trying
did you
times.
just call yourself a business owner?
No, married
Oh,
to a business owner.
married to a business owner. So there's this thing where Jilisa
I
like
don't do business.
doesn't like business.
No.
I
I
shouldn't
like
say
to be
doesn't
a part
like.
of it, but I
Yes.
don't like to know anything about it.
Yeah, I think it takes a very specific person to enjoy entrepreneurship. It's hard.
Yeah, like literally that's one of the reasons I was a nurse, became a nurse, because I was like, cool, cool. I don't have to worry about how I'm gonna make money, finding clients, my business being shut down because of a pandemic, any of those things. So that was one of the really drawing things to be a nurse. Because guess what? People are always
Somehow
gonna be
you
sick.
somehow you knew this pandemic was going to happen,
Well,
right?
not that part, but just like business in general feels harder than like staying up for 12 hours and making sure people stay alive. I'd rather sometimes do that
Yeah, that
than
sounds
deal
really
with the
hard to
business
me.
in a
And
pandemic.
that I guess that's the first kind of topic we can talk about is different personalities.
Yeah. I am thankful there are people like you that like thrive on wanting to create things that other people can enjoy, like business. And I think the world would be really boring and we wouldn't get to do anything fun without people like you. I just happened to not be one of those people, and I didn't realize you were one of those people when we got married. Ooh, sorry. And so, because I don't think you were at the beginning of when we got married, and now you are. And that's been a great thing to learn together.
Well, I think I was. Your voice is so loud today. You're
Oh
so
man, I'm
powerful.
sorry. I'm passionate about this.
Um, I think like our personality traits or talents, what we've been designed as, are always there, but sometimes they don't come out until specific situations. So I didn't when I started the gym. Um, I always kind of wondered, like, what do I do once I don't want to just personal train or I don't want to just train people anymore? Like, what do I do?
Hmm.
And I didn't realize that owning businesses was like an occupation
Yeah.
or a vocation, and that got me really excited. And then the more I dove into it, the more masterminds, mentors, I realized, oh, this is actually really important to the world. This is something that I really enjoy,
Hmm.
and it's of value, and you can do a lot of things with it.
Yeah. And I think too, what you said, like business owning as a career, it's crazy. Like, and I probably would have been one of these people too, but how many people ask or like don't recognize that no, entrepreneurship is a career. And like oftentimes people who don't know us but know that we own a gym, I've been asked so many times, like, does your husband do other things? Or like, is that his full-time job? And in my head, I just would be like, are you kidding me? He works like a million hours a week at this job that is his job. And I don't think people understand what goes on behind the scenes all the time unless you've been there, um, especially in a business during a pandemic.
Yeah, and
So
more
props to you.
specifically, working more so during the
Yeah.
pandemic because the goal of a business is to be the owner of it and to oversee it. And like the CEO should be overseeing it, making sure it's making impact, the vision's still happening, and you scale up so that you can provide more jobs for more people
Mhm.
and make a bigger impact. Um,
That's the goal generally for us in the last year. It has just been like to still serve our community the best that we can and also provide making sure your employees have jobs and
mhm.
can eat and
And us too.
well, yeah. I mean, first them, then us, maybe, but yeah, I think that like just the goals of the or the vision, probably just like the goals of the business over the last year-ish has had to change slightly and just like not surviving, because I think we've always known that we're going to survive in one way or another, because you and I would not let that happen. But to go from like a business that was thriving in ways that we never could have imagined it would before COVID happened, and then to like, okay, how can we just make sure that we and our people survive this so that people can stay healthy and we still have a gym to go back to when the pandemic is over.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's where understanding business principles. And when I say business principles, it's
Yeah, you better
just,
explain that, because us non-business folk don't
well,
know what you're talking
that's
about.
what I want to say. I just want to kind of slash that word business in front of the principles. Like these
Mhm.
principles, you become a better leader. You understand these principles. It makes you a better husband. It makes you a better
Yeah.
employee. It like when we start to look, I like to think of it
Oh, I know what you're trying to say.
instead of careers, it's platforms, right? Like if I understand a vision is important for a business, because that's what you're talking about, but how we delivered this vision, being the vision of the gym is to help people live holistically healthy and fit, which is all encompassing, which is like spiritually, mentally, physically, purpose, and
Mhm.
relationally.
Yeah.
That's holistic health and fitness. We want to help people thrive in that area. Now, how we do that is going to change based on our external circumstances. And this year, massive external circumstances have changed,
Yeah.
meaning that how we deliver that, how we help people had to change. So people that don't understand that, business owners that get so caught up in how they deliver things instead of the reason why they're doing it or the impact, the cause they have on it,
Mm-hmm.
they get lost because they enter into victim mindset, not realizing that you need a bigger vision to keep pulling you through the mud.
Yeah. There's a lot of mud this year,
There's a lot of
like a
mud.
whole mud pit.
And that talking about marriage and business, I'm getting passionate here now.
Yeah, just take a breath. This is
The
good.
talking about business and marriage, I think it's really important that couples have a mission or a
Mm.
vision and for us, like we're diving into the book, The Meaning of Marriage by
Tim Keller.
Tim Keller, and it's talking about like biblically, you have to be the servant in the marriage. Like Andy Stanley said in one of his his videos too. I have to give you everything and not expect anything in return.
Yeah,
Like
that
that's the
expectation thing.
Christ like character, and same thing. You have to do the same, and if we both do that, then we can thrive and be happy because it's not transactional. I think that's what's happening now. Is I'm on the rabbit trail now.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
confused where we're going, but I'm going to keep listening.
Yeah,
You're doing good.
we get so focused on what's in it for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I understand that in a relationship, if I'm saying I'm going to give you everything, I'm going to sacrifice my needs and wants because that is truly what Christ exemplified, then I take that same principle and I apply it as an employee or as a steward of a business. I'm going to give everything that I've been given to help the whole move forward, to help the whole thrive.
Mm-hmm. So you're comparing our marriage to business?
That's the thing, just slash the business or like it.
It really is the same though, because like
There's
I
principles.
understand it is a principle, and like regardless, if you care about that thing and it's important to you, you have to be willing to make sacrifices and not have expectations about what you're gonna get in return. If yeah, like you said, if that's something, a relationship or a business that you care about.
Yeah, the more you try to control something, the harder it becomes, the worse it
Yeah.
becomes, right? Like
Yeah.
if I tried to control every little aspect of the business this year, I had to let go of a lot of things because you can't. And same thing in a marriage. If you have to let go of yourself to find yourself, that was really cheesy.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What are you gonna? Okay. We can go two different ways with this, but Um, what was the hardest part of going through the pandemic in terms of being a business owner for you?
Ooh, um, there was a lot of difficult parts, and we had a lot of staff changes.
Okay, so maybe like give me your top three things in a short, like point form.
I think it's keeping people, keeping our team focused on the
Mhm.
reason why.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm going to get deep again here.
I said point form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's an anchor, right? Like the vision is an anchor. If you're not anchored to your vision and the sea gets wavy and you're in a boat, you're going to be pushed around everywhere.
Hey, you lasted like 10 minutes before you gave your personality. I feel like this
But
is a record.
and to help, and it's scary to stay in that spot, right? To stay planted in that vision. You want to do all these different things that could make you money quickly to satisfy that need immediately. But then you're having to sacrifice your vision and mission and your culture and your values, which once you do that, then you're not making the impact you want. You're doing it
Okay.
for the wrong reasons.
Yep. So that was number one, keeping the team focused on the vision.
Yep. Um, Myself personally, staying motivated at times.
In terms of like work or
Yeah, in the business, meaning, so being that I like to dream, I like to
mm,
create. It's hard. I was using an excuse. I was having a victim mindset myself. It's hard to stay motivated and come up with new ideas and exciting things or events or different services when you quote unquote can't.
yeah.
And I got stuck in that a few times, just feeling bad for myself. But then I realized that it's not going to change anything. It doesn't matter. And I can still use what I'm gifted with, use my visionary skills and to help make it through that.
Mhm. Do you have a last one?
No, but I'll ask you, what was the hardest part for you?
Um, just in general or like business wise? Pretending.
Well, let's just go general maybe.
Okay. Like as a part of the gym or which part?
Depends how deep you go, I
How
guess.
much time you got? That was all really hard. No, um, I think one of the hardest things. Okay, I'll give two too. First thing, probably
Tutu.
two as well. Don't. You were like 12. Okay. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
You get two as well. Two
I don't know,
examples.
but I don't
I'm
remember what the
sorry.
first one was. Oh yeah. Okay. So in like normal life, obviously, um, business owning is challenging as it is, but then going through a pandemic, it makes it that much more challenging. So in normal life, when things are hard, um, I felt like at least at one point in time, at least one of us were able to like stay positive and like have a look on the bright side attitude. Whereas like during the last couple of years, just with COVID and everything, there were so many times when both of us felt so like beat down, and that was a struggle because neither of us were there to like pick each other up. And I know at some point one of us, usually you, would like pump yourself up and be like, okay, we got this, and I need to be strong and be the leader and like help me when I was struggling. But I think that was one hard thing is just like it's one thing when one person in a marriage owns a business or is the business owner and things are going hard because usually you have the other person to like talk about those hard things with and be built up. But when you both feel everything so strongly because you're both so tied to it, I think that was really hard for me. And obviously you more so than me being the technical owner, but I think I just feel everything because it's you. And then uh, I think, well, for me to just number two of my two things
Hmm.
would be um, not reverting back to um, habits of control. So because I felt so out of control in terms of every little part of life, basically, like business, finances, what we could and couldn't do. Um, Obviously, thoughts of things from my past, exercise and anorexia. Those could have been like such easy options for me to be like, well, can't control this. So maybe I'll just stop eating again, or I'll just exercise all the time and take it. At least I can control that. But it was, I think maybe I had that thought like for 1 second, and then it was very, very purposeful of every day. Like, I will not allow myself to do that. And I can honestly say I don't think I missed or skipped a single meal, which like, I feel like I should, yes, thank you, throw myself a party for that, because I think that's a,
Pizza
like,
party.
yeah, well, we've had plenty of those, but yes, um, like that felt like a huge success for me, even though it was a struggle. And then like, I know at times it felt like we've had moments where you've asked me if I'm exercising too much or how that happens, but um, I don't think at any point I ever felt like I was out of control, or like I didn't feel like I was exercising too much, which also felt like a struggle, but because it could have been easy for me to do. But the fact that I am able to have the conversation with myself of like, no, this is not an appropriate coping mechanism. You need to find other ways and like rely on relationships and on my faith, obviously, to get through these times. So those were both like struggles and huge successes, I felt like. Mhm. Okay, sorry.
Jilisa left her phone on in here.
Okay, it's off.
You flip it upside down too. Thank you. So talk to me about that faith aspect. How has that been helpful? And
Okay.
what do you mean by faith?
I
You're welcome.
believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I think I've talked about this before, and maybe not on the podcast, but in my vlogs and stuff. And I just like all this time. Sorry, so loud again. All this time. Okay, my dad's a pastor, and so I just have always, that's my in. So dad's a pastor, so I get to go to heaven. Cool, cool, cool. Everything's good. That's the way that works, right? Yeah, exactly. But no, I think in the last year, as hard as like my battle with anorexia and exercise addiction was, I can probably honestly say that in that time, I don't think I took it as an opportunity to grow closer to God, even though I know that my faith in Him and finding value as a daughter um, is what helped me through it. I don't really necessarily feel like my faith really grew in that time. Whereas this, I felt like I think because I mean, led by action, but because you challenged me so much in it, of just like trusting, like fully trusting that he had a plan, and that I think the biggest thing is like knowing that no matter what happens, like as much as we care about the gym and as much as that is like an important thing to us, that like nothing matters here. Like literally nothing matters. And that, as hard as that sounds, like is so freeing and so good to like remember, like no matter what happens, it doesn't change who we are. It doesn't change my faith. It doesn't change, it shouldn't change our relationship. Um, and so I think just fully living into that and recognizing that has helped a lot. And actually, like being intentional about reading my Bible and learning and praying, which I can honestly say I like pretended to do all this time, but didn't really take it seriously. So that's been been a really good change, I guess. And now hard things are hard, but not as hard because I just always think like, "Oh, yeah, this stuff doesn't matter."
Yeah.
And that's I think maybe that's, like, my morbid side or my dark side, but in a positive way. I'm like, "No, nothing matters,
No,
so even if
it's a
this is bad, I don't care."
good practice to remember that this life isn't forever and none of this is mine to keep.
Yeah.
Like I'm simply a business steward. I'm a steward of the business. I'm a steward of this relationship. It's not my relationship to keep. Everything we have, this house and everything, as soon as you realize that, then you can let go and start to enjoy them more because
Mhm.
you realize that they have um, a limited clock to them.
Yeah.
And with everything that has a limited clock to them, you better start appreciating them and um, before that clock runs out.
Yeah. Okay, next question. So what okay, this
This
is
is
a
like a
layered
quiz show.
question.
It's like very point, like next question.
No, it's just I have to say that so that I can think about the question that I'm going to ask you. Um, so we know that the pandemic has been challenging for a lot of people and marriages. So we've learned a lot. I feel like not that no, it has been challenging, but I feel like we've learned from those challenges, and it's like a positive thing. So what is like the top thing that you would say you've learned about marriage through all this? Why are you smiling like that? Because I'm asking hard questions.
No, it's good.
Do you have an analogy to tell me?
No, I think it's something that you said recently.
Ooh, what did I
So as we're
say?
as we're going through this marriage book,
I'm so wise. I can't wait to
oh,
hear it.
well, now
Oh,
you
shoot.
you are wise.
Oh,
You are
no.
wise.
It's not a good
But
thing?
as we're going through this marriage
Oh,
book,
I know what you're going to
when
say.
you said, "Oh, when we got married, I got married for the
Oh,
wrong reasons,"
yeah.
right? Because as you go through this marriage book, you realize
Like less wise than I thought. Okay.
because everyone paints everyone people are getting into marriage because it's the next thing to do or how does it serve
Yeah.
me? Like I'm going to get married
Serves a
so
purpose.
you and that's what you said. You said I got into
Hmm.
it so you could support me
Yeah, that's totally how I
in all
thought this
my
was going to
different
go.
things, which I want to support and hopefully you support me, but that's not the goal of it. The goal is marriage is an example of the gospel,
Hmm.
right? And we both are to be like Christ and submit.
Yeah, that I still am trying to figure out because, like, yeah, have, I would, I've been a Christian my whole life, but like,
And I
I'm,
should say, sorry, submission is that's a there's a different term. Um, people's red lights could probably go on. It's not like I'm Jalisa's boss or anything. Like we're both submissive to each other. We're
well,
both
technically,
in the gym. I am the boss. Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. No, I've like obviously been a Christian my whole life. Whether or not I took it seriously is a different story, but like understanding marriage as an example of the gospel is something like very new. And I still don't fully understand that. And I'm trying to learn that and whatever that means. But what you said was like a really big light bulb for me and explains probably the first 3 quarters of our marriage. And we've been married 9 years now. So that's a long time. What? Not?
That's awesome. Good
Oh,
for
I
us.
thought you were shaking your head. I was
No, I
like,
was like, I
I'm
forgot.
pretty sure it's been 9
These
years.
past 2 years, it's been like I
Oh,
can't
no,
remember
and
what year it is.
yeah, but, like, being or able to recognize and admitting and working through the fact that I 1000% got married for the wrong reasons, but now, like, being okay with that and actually doing it for the right reasons is, like, cool because I feel like it might take me a while to, like, get good at it, being married. So just bear with me for the next
Oh,
9 years,
me
but
too.
but, like, um, my idea of why you got married and what it was gonna be like was so skewed, and I feel like it was totally like what everybody in the movies thinks or how you think it should be of just like, "Oh, everything's gonna be great, and you're gonna be best friends all the time, and You're just going to be super pumped for me in anything I want to do. And that's going to be awesome to like have a cheerleader all the time. And then it's like, oh, wait, that's not why you get married. It's sweet if that happens, but that's not actually why you should get married. And that has been a fun learning experience.
Yeah. Getting into marriage, we should go in with the intent of serving the other person.
Yeah. And like, if you're not willing to sacrifice things or your time or whatever it might be for that person, maybe take a little while before you decide to get married. Mind you, we were like very young when we were married, but and maybe other people are smarter than we were, but I don't think we had a clue what was happening.
Marriage is hard. I
Yeah,
think
it's no joke.
in the Tim Keller book, he talks about it takes people, each individual, working on their individual selfishness,
Mhm.
right? That mean we're just selfish people.
Yeah, and I would admit to being like an extra selfish person. Like I feel like each person like has a base minimum of selfishness that they like want to like let's do the things that make me happy. That's everybody. Obviously everyone wants to do that, but I feel like I have like an extra layer. And so I'm sorry about that. I'm working on it.
Me too.
Yeah, which is why maybe our not maybe that's why it's been extra hard. Because we're both extra selfish, maybe. But we're
Well, I
learning.
think, well, if you look at it, if we were perfect and unselfish, that means that, like, that's the whole reason we're sinful,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole reason for the gospel. Like, we're sinful and we need to be saved. And to say that I can do it on my own or that I need to be perfect is impossible. But that doesn't mean I can't continue to strive each and every day to be a better husband and to serve you. And it doesn't mean it's easy. And it doesn't mean that
What?
it's super easy.
Yeah.
You're already on the next question, aren't you? I can see your brain
No.
turning.
I was just thinking about what you said. No. What are you excited about for the next year?
Business wise,
Mhm.
I mean, just
Or
whole life
marriage?
wise, I think this year, if people have let it, it has been a season of peeling away. Um, if you let it, you now realize that you can't put your trust in things that can be gone like this.
Yeah.
And if the more you do, the more you, here's, you can hear me
Oh
ramping up,
boy.
the more you put your identity and your faith in things that are not guaranteed, the shakier the foundation is, then the more the danger, more dangerous it is, right? Like, even to say, if I put all my happiness and joy in you, meaning that I found all my happiness and joy from you, we just talked about it. We're imperfect, right? That doesn't mean I can't find happiness within our relationship. That doesn't mean we can't support each other in that, but everything eventually is going to be gone. And if we put our faith and trust in that stuff, then we're walking on a very thin line. And I think that, going back to what I was trying to say, this whole year has proven that. Like, if I put my whole identity as a business owner
Mm-hmm.
and to be successful and to find my significance in the success of the gym, where would I be today?
Right. So what are you most excited for this year?
I think,
Let's try again.
well, I was trying to say I'm excited that maybe people are realizing, I know that I've realized that it's peeled a lot of stuff away and that we can just enter into things without needing them for our happiness.
So having less in essence.
Having less so that you can enjoy more
Mm-hmm. That's good.
because you're not, yeah, TM. because you're not dependent on it. That you're not dependent on these things for who you are.
I think I've heard you say that 16 different times of know who you are with or without.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
What
true.
about you? Analogy. You have to use an analogy.
Oh no, then there would be like an hour of blank air. The people would not like that. What am I most excited for? Um, I don't know. I wasn't prepared to answer my own question.
Okay.
Thank you though. Come back to me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this podcast has kind of been around and around, but I
I
was
don't know. I thought we
talking,
did pretty good.
no, in a good way. I was talking to Scott. I hope I say
Hey Scott.
your last name right, Scott Ramage. We were talking about how a lot of the principles apply to a lot of different things, right? Like if I develop, I should say, if I develop myself as a better leader, I can use a lot of the same principles to be a better husband, um, a better teammate, all these different things. So I think it's really important that as individuals, we work on ourselves and create these core values, these things that we want to step into every single day. So let's say as a business, you have core values on the wall that says live with integrity or whatever that means. Like you have all these things that you want your employees or your staff or yourself to exemplify in the business. But why don't we do that as individuals? Why don't we have something on our wall that says, today I'm going to be an example of God's love?
Do you want to know why most people don't do that?
That's
Yeah. What?
I'm
Because
not trying to
nobody
make it
thinks
sound.
as deeply as you do. Because you're like, I think it would be great if everybody did that. But I don't think most people are as like introspective and thoughtful and visionary. I think that is like a special quality of yours that you think like if everyone actually did this, this would be so great. And I agree. But that's why people need help with that kind of stuff.
Coaches and mentors, and yeah, we tend to be people that want to fix something when it happens.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that kind of person that would think about that. And I'm also not necessarily a fixer. My brain just is, I'm task focused. So if there's
Yeah,
something to do, I'm
let's
for sure
talk
not
about
gonna take time
marriage
doing
and
that.
business. We're both different personalities, and what would your gifts be?
Getting stuff done.
Yes.
Yeah, tenacity. If you tell me to do something, unless you give me 60 notifications, then I'm not going to do it because it gets lost somewhere. But if I have a clear outline of the exact things that I need to do, when I need to do them, when they got to be done, how you'd like them done, you can 1000% guarantee it will be done well and it will be done on time. But if you ask me to dream about something, there's 0% chance I'm going to do it. Or I'm probably also not interested in helping you think about that. Just tell me what the plan is and what you need me
Let's
to
do
do
it.
for it.
I picture like a little cartoon of a character, just like you set them on the path and they just keep digging the hole, and they'll keep digging the hole until you stop them, and they
Yeah,
don't have to know where it's
100%.
going.
Just tell me which way to go,
Yeah.
where to dig, how deep you'd like the hole dug, what shovel you want me to use.
How does that hinder you?
It doesn't. I'm perfect. I think I'm the perfect employee. Uh, it
But like
doesn't
talking
as an
about in
employee.
marriage
If I,
too,
oh yeah,
marriage employee,
because I will just spend,
teammates. Let's use teammate, not
I'll give
employee.
you no attention until I finish my tasks.
Hmm.
Like, and you know this, but I can get so focused that I'll completely forget that you have feelings and I will glare at you if you want a hug because I'm like, I'm too busy doing this because someone asked me to do this by this time and I need to get it done before I got to do my next thing. So I hope you don't want to have a conversation with me.
Fair enough.
But I have gotten a lot better at like pre planning dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that counts for something.
Talking about the 5 love languages now.
quality time.
Yeah.
Yep. So what are your skills? We know this. Everybody in the world knows this if they follow you. You're a visionary. You're a dreamer, a helper, a mentor,
Yeah.
a
I
purpose
like to think
person.
I can problem solve big problems and
Mhm.
come up with unique ideas, which
Oh, I got to say something before you say anything else. I just have to say, like, I feel like because I do the things, I do the things, so I get tasks done. And so then when something is done, it's like, "Ooh, good job, Jilisa, you did all the things. It looks great." Whatever, whatever. When in the background, it was actually whatever I did was actually your idea. So you don't actually get any of the credit. So I just publicly need to give you credit for like all the things because I don't think you get any of it when I don't think that's fair. And I'm trying to be a better sharer and less of a three. So
3 Enneagram.
good job.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have survived COVID without you.
that's one of
That's
those
what I'm
other
saying.
things about you could take from marriage or business or whatever else. It should never be self-serving, meaning, I mean, we can benefit from it, yes, but I shouldn't be doing something so that I get credit, even if I sometimes want to, and sometimes I probably do,
Excuse me, sorry.
because if
Just
we're
choked on
all in
my
our
spit.
place of unique geniuses, it's going to benefit the whole, and when the whole benefits, that's the goal.
Yeah, you're so clearly not a three because I do everything for recognition.
Am I answering my question? Is that, I can't remember.
What do you mean?
You asked me what my gifts were.
No, we talked about that.
I don't know if we did.
Oh, I think
We
I
got
said
distracted.
you're a visionary. You're a purpose person that tells people
Oh, you were
all the
explaining
things
my
they do.
gifts.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
I did it for you. Took care of that.
thanks. I
Sorry,
didn't
did you want to
talk.
add anything?
No.
I think it's just an opportunity for me to say how great you are by telling people
thank
what
you.
you do. So there you go.
Yeah, I think it's and it's a hindrance for me because sometimes I have a hard time being in the moment. I'm always thinking
Yeah.
of the next thing.
Mhm.
Are you in a rush?
I have a dog walking date in like 5 minutes. So
Duke.
Okay, so last question. In the spirit of the Adventurous podcast, if we were allowed to fly somewhere tomorrow and go on an adventure, where would you want to go?
Uh-oh. I forgot about traveling.
I thought this would be easier for you.
I mean, New Zealand would be cool. Switzerland would be cool.
No, I just want one answer.
Hawaii. I want to go Hawaii again. You?
I want to bike Switzerland. I want to go to the mountains and do that bike. It's like 7 days, like, I don't know, 200 and some kilometers. Oh, that would be the dream. But we got to figure out how to bring Duke. So not quite there.
That's
Not ready to go anyways. So plus my finger has to heal first before I can do that. So I'm not in a huge rush yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. Give us a 5-star review, please.
Mhm.
It really helps us.
And Mom, if
And
you're
share
listening, there is a way to share it. Dad will show you how. You're welcome.
See you guys later.
Bye.